welcome to another episode of Use Your Words.
That reminds me of Crashbox. You ever watch Crashbox?
Never.
HBO?
What is Crashbox?
HBO Family. It was an old kids variety game show.
What?
And there were puzzles and anyway. We've already gotten off topic.
Doesn't even exist.
It does. We're gonna put it up there. Crashbox.
No. What is? Let me see.
Look it up. What?
Got a soundboard out here.
Shoot.
What is this one? All right, I'll have to figure that out.
Okay, you're gonna have to add these in. You're gonna have to do all the video.
I know.
Okay,
I'm off
cool.
the next 2 days, so I'm good.
Okay, cool.
So today, well, first, we like to start with story time here on Use Your Words. Actually, no, we don't. We just kind of just talk. But we got this topic actually from the end of the last one where Sam was talking about how she could just talk to anyone, and I totally agree because I'm weird like that. Like, I'm the dude who will, I've literally been at a forest preserve, and this dude, if he's still out there somewhere and watches podcasts or listens to podcasts, literally, I was just walking in a forest preserve one time, and I literally was just like, yo, dude, what life advice can you give me? And he was fishing, and he was like this old Polish man, had a thick accent. What do you I feel like there's more to that.
I just know a couple words in Polish.
But, so is that like she's into Polish men or something?
No, God, here we go. But, I'm gonna get comments.
But he, I'll just talk to anyone. I literally asked him. I went around for 2 weeks where I would go to forest preserves and I would just ask people. I was not high or anything. This was not me being crazy. I was a writer. I wanted to be a writer at one point. I still kind of do. But I was just asking people life advice because, you have to get life advice from people who have lived through experiences, and especially older people. We don't do that enough. As these people are literally just walking around and going through everyday life who have been through so much shit.
Who've been through literally twice the amount of life we've lived.
Yeah.
More.
And we just think we know what we're doing.
We know it all.
Yeah, you should talk to people in general,
elders.
but older people. Because I was literally at that forest reserve probably for 45 minutes and asked 4 people, and all of them had the same similar response, and they said, the Polish guy said family, friends first, and health. Just you could only wish for good health. Because he said, if you're not healthy, then nothing else matters.
You're going to be miserable.
And if you don't have friends and family, nothing else matters.
You're going to be miserable.
You have to talk to... And you put it into good words. What did you say? Everyone can teach you something?
You have something to learn from everyone. That was the thing. We turned off the last podcast and started talking about the next one we were going to do.
Yeah, me, yeah.
And that's, I think a lot of people have this attitude, that they know everything, that they're where they're at in life, and they've learned it all, and they can teach themselves. And it's just, everyone knows something that you don't know. Everyone has something that they can teach you. And that's why, talking to somebody that you would never normally talk to, like when you go to Target and you walk past somebody and you just happen to say something, oh, I like your whatever, starts talking, you'd never talk to that person otherwise.
So, you made me think of this quote that I read somewhere, and it's literally, I don't know if it's Bill Nye, but he literally said, everyone you will ever meet knows something that you don't know, which is true.
That sounds like Bill Nye.
Sounds like Bill Nye.
Bill Nye's the guy. But yeah, absolutely. And that's, and so you're talking about forest preserve, that guy at the forest preserve, asking for life advice. A conversation that sticks out to me that I had with a complete stranger happened in New Orleans. I was at Winn-Dixie just going to pick up just a couple things. And I started talking to this cashier about attached and detached earlobes.
Really?
The biological, genome and phenome of that.
Yeah.
And we sat there and we talked for 20 minutes. And it's just what out of my friends are going to want to sit and talk about that with me?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people.
That's true. Like, he's
Shout out to this cashier at Winn-Dixie.
Like, going off of that, the most, one of my best friends, Kyle, will know, I think he's the one I ever told about this, but the most interesting person that I ever met in my life that I couldn't stop listening to this man. I was at McDonald's, and his name was Vince, and he was like 50, and he just retired. He worked like a union job, and he literally just starts talking to me, and he's like, because I went to the local community college over there, and he's like, you go to the college over there? And he talked to me, he blew my mind. He's like, this country is not free. He's like an ex-Vietnam veteran. This guy was like going off on why we're not free in this country. I wrote a lot of it down, so I'll have to find that notebook.
Absolutely.
But I'll never forget this guy. His name was Vince at McDonald's in Elgin, Illinois.
Yes.
And he just blew my mind with he was saying that you have to live your life and you don't owe it to anyone. Essentially what he was saying is that, and I'm so happy I sat down at McDonald's, because I don't think I've ever sat down at McDonald's like ever since then. But it's weird. It's like strangers can change your life.
Yeah.
I'll never
Absolutely.
forget him. Vince.
Absolutely. And that's
Just have to be more open to talking to people.
I one time went somewhere with one of my best friends, Shelly. We went to like a downtown in Rockford, some like art studio.
Okay.
And we just ended up walking in there randomly, and we started talking to this guy. And by the time we left, we were like, that guy was our spirit guide. We were like convinced, because that's all he was talking about is just, you know, you have to live your own life. It's about getting to the point where like you're happy with it. It doesn't matter as long as you've got the mindset. And
because in the end,
stuff he said to me stuck with me, and I don't even know this man's name. I don't know his name, but I think about him. That's the thing. He was one of my spirit guides. Like
well, that's what.
This was years ago.
Essentially, too, like it's kind of the same thing. It's just everyone says that like obviously family and friends are very important in this, but at the end of the day, like it's only you. Like you have to be happy with the person that you
go home to it.
Go home to. Yeah. If you're not happy with yourself, then how are other people going to be
Yeah.
happy with you?
And that's a huge thing, and a huge indicator of that, though, is being able to spend time on yourself.
Yeah.
With yourself. Because I know a lot of people that they can't be alone.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'm guilty of that sometimes. Yeah.
When I notice myself going out of my way to not be alone, I see it take an impact on me. Like, I suffer because I'm not allowing myself to spend time by myself.
Like, you honestly, like, emotionally, like, you just explain that.
Okay, so it's super easy for me, where I'm at right now, to be surrounded by people all the time.
Yeah.
If I wanted to. I live with 2 people, and I have another 2 people that live a couple minutes away, and I could literally be with somebody all the time.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, you know, like when I come home, I am with people. I'm with my roommate, I work with my roommate, so we go to Volcano, we're together.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, I'm just with other people, and there are times where I need to come home and I need to be by myself.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where I'll either stay up late and like be that it so everyone's asleep and I'm awake, but I notice when I go out of my way to make sure that I'm not alone, that I'm not happy doing that.
That's crazy.
It's like negative feedback in a way.
I wish I thought like that more. I'm in a weird time in my life right now though, where it's like I don't want to be alone, mainly because the brain is a dangerous
You are
place.
your own worst enemy, and that's the other thing true, is
And
that you need to understand when you should be alone and when you should not be alone.
And it's not, and I don't think I'm understanding that right now, because I mean, I have these next 3 days off from work.
Yes.
And I literally am booked for everything. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, got podcast Friday, racetrack after this, like Saturday I'm going to look at apartments, like, I don't know. I'm in a weird spot, so I'm not like good to like talk about that right now. So it's like weird because this isn't normally how I am. I love being alone. I love my alone time. I usually write when I'm alone all the time, but.
And that's the other thing is I feel like when I go out of my way to not, it's because I'm putting off writing. And I've been putting off writing for a long time.
Writing is so healthy and therapeutic, you have no idea.
And when you put it off, that's some back on your bullshit.
That's bad, yeah.
It's bad, and I know that it is, but it's like you put it off because I've just built up so many things that I told myself I need to write. And
start writing. It doesn't even have to make sense. Like it could only you can understand it. Like you'll never share it with someone. Yeah. But once you put it like down,
put it down on paper.
I used to be so skeptical.
You have to, yeah.
I'm like, no, that doesn't do anything. Now I honestly write every day.
Yep.
I write every day.
You should.
It is therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I would do without writing now. I have like 25 notebooks in my car right now.
Yep. And that's the other thing is the physical act of writing. Like typing, oh my god.
Typing doesn't do shit.
No,
typing doesn't do anything.
The physical act of writing, like pen to paper, like pressure on the page, like... What is the topic we're going to talk about today?
Talking to anyone. We kind of just transitioned into our own thing, but I feel like that's going to be every podcast, so deal with it.
Yeah, so let's slide into that. And it was something about... No, I remember what it is, and you're going to start it off. So it's how and when do you think you're going to die?
Oh, that was the topic, yeah. So she saved it. Okay. See, Sam's good. I need Sam
I'm
too.
coherent, and that's the thing. A lot of people
too.
don't think I'm coherent.
And she laughs. She laughs about it. Like, I'm coherent. Oh, yeah. So how and when do you think you will die, and when and how do you want to die?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the dream for everyone is to die when they're like 75, 80, just in their sleep.
As soon as I'm not coherent.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But...
If you could pick an age...
When and how... This is like some deep stuff because I think about this a lot. And
so do I.
And I'm going to be like... People are going to be like, you're suicidal.
No.
But like...
It's a human condition to think about death.
No, not even that. It's like what I'm about to say. Is that I feel like people don't care when you die when you're old.
No, because you lived.
And as messed up as it sounds...
Unless you knew the person.
Yeah, of course. But that's what I mean, is like, fucked up as it sounds, is like, that part, it's like, I kind of want to die younger. See?
No, listen. I used to have this idea as a kid, and this was when I, like, was, believed in a physical heaven and hell, and, like...
She's atheist now.
God. Well, I would say more agnostic now.
Okay.
Because there's, we'll get into that later. But yeah, I actually believed in like the Christian
That'll be
Catholic
a good topic
God.
for future.
Because
sure. I still believe in God.
For sure. But I used to have this idea that how you looked when you died was how you were gonna be
in heaven.
Forever. Yeah, in heaven.
I always think of that too.
So I was like young and a child, and I was like, I feel like 26. Like I want to be 26. But that's the thing. Like you just
25.
It's right. But it's like obviously that doesn't make any sense. But like I had this weird idea that that's how you were gonna stay. But I think more so what it is now is, and this goes into like the belief of like souls and things.
Yeah.
Whereas, it's hard to find evidence of a physical soul around like very scientific. So, but then you think about Breaking Bad. We can get into Breaking Bad. That scene where he's going through on the chalkboard and he's writing out this like chemical components of the human body.
Oh,
and it's like that point, that unaccounted, like 0.2, whatever.
Yeah, because it's like you defecate when you die, and then he's like, there's 0.2 that's not accounted for.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's crazy.
That to me is, I feel like it just has to be like the electric current that like
hard.
That is like the actual life force that like goes through like our brain and our spine and all of that.
We just
And so
gained
when
40
we
viewers
die-
and lost 30. So that's 10.
Net viewership of 10 people. But so that when you die, like that currency or that frequency goes somewhere, because I mean, when you think about like matter and how it cannot be like created or lost at this point, it's like, where do we go? Everything has to stay around somewhere. Yeah,
Mind fucking us over here. Damn. I mean, because you went way into it on that, but yeah, like, that is a question, is like, what is that point to? It's got to be something, right? Somebody tell us, or was Breaking Bad wrong? But,
yeah, I take
right?
Breaking Bad to me as law. Breaking Bad is my Bible.
Yeah,
actually.
Breaking Bad. We literally, half of this friendship was built off of Breaking Bad, and we would just talk about how great Breaking Bad was because Vince Gilligan is like,
Oh my god.
he's the best. He's a little
Vince Gilligan, I just want him to direct my life.
True. That'd
Come
be
direct
sick.
my life, Vince
Yeah.
Gilligan, please.
Every single thing he puts on the screen is just, every shot. Better Call Saul too.
Better Call Saul, I would argue, it's done better.
Yeah.
It's done better. I won't say that, I mean, I think they're both equal to me. Like, I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with both of them. But I think that Better Call Saul, he was able to, like, perfect his craft a little bit more.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because there's like the scenes with like, yeah, the cinematography's crazy. Like there was one scene I remember when the two twins from Mexico are watching Mike and his granddaughter, and they're like up there, and he does the perfect split of the screen.
Yeah.
This is the media in us and all of our media stuff, but the shots he's pulling off in that show are ridiculous.
And I mean, every building that they're in, it makes me want to move to New Mexico.
Right? And then
Like,
the black and white shots he used in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
The-
And then he still does it in Better Call Saul.
Yeah, and then the Cinnabon one.
Yes,
the Cinnabon.
that is one of the most beautiful scenes, and it's in a Cinnabon in
Yeah.
the mall.
And he does the,
I can hear the music.
yeah. Then the, what was it? I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. Oh, remember before a lot of episodes, he shows you the end first?
Yeah.
Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And then he
Just
doesn't tell you
poetry.
how he's gonna get. It's just fantastic, and that's Better Call Saul. I think is coming back in like February.
I
or
hope so.
something.
But did you see that recently Bryan Cranston and
I
they tweeted 2 mules? You didn't see this?
I didn't see their tweets. I saw something
I'm
that
gonna pull
people
it up.
thought that they might have signed for a movie deal, and that they might.
No,
be
they
doing a
did.
movie.
They did.
Is it a Breaking Bad movie?
It's a sequel.
So it's gonna. But is it a show or a movie?
It's a movie.
Okay, so he didn't. Okay.
No.
Breaking Bad
so
has
it
already
is.
happened, and it finished forever ago. And that's the other thing is like there has to be a cap on
They
spoilers.
both tweeted 2 mules. They tweeted the same exact. I don't know if they have Cranston's thing on here. We'll put it up on the screen.
Look, Bryan
Oh yeah,
Cranston.
see, look, soon 2 mules. But the thing that would break my heart, which is a lot of like what people are also saying, is if they didn't kill Walter White.
Exactly, and that was exactly what I was gonna say.
It would ruin one of the best endings.
It was perfect, and this brings me into I had to take media writing, and you have to write
Me
a
too.
screenplay for your final.
Did you have to go into like
project.
the little trailer out there? I had to. Yeah.
And for my final screenplay project, I wrote the first part to like a 5-part Breaking Bad continuation.
Oh really?
And
It'd be focused around Jesse, right?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
Jesse, and he, like, the whole premise of it was that he wanted to get everyone's stories. So he
Yeah.
goes and talks to Skylar, he goes and talks to Hank. He wants to compile everyone's stories to, like, write it all down so that he can heal. And so that was the whole premise of
dead.
it. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Who?
Hank's gone.
Oh, well, okay, but, like,
That's just the family.
I wrote
like,
this forever
She doesn't
ago.
know it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is
But
just,
he
like...
could. Yeah, that would
He
be
could
crazy.
talk to Marie and get Hank's side. Like
True.
that was I definitely didn't write Hank into
God damn it, Marie!
But the minerals.
They're minerals.
But, no, yeah, and so but it was hugely contingent on Walt being dead, and he died. It was the perfect full circle.
That's what
The
I'm worried
end of
about.
his empire, the end of him Breaking Bad. He died.
that's what I'm worried about, is that the ending was so perfect, but also they were saying that there could be a fact that like he's just in Jesse's conscience. So he's like with Jesse and Jesse. Yeah, so like,
which I always say, like, their dynamic,
it was so good.
Walter White and Jesse Pinkman,
it was perfect.
It was ideal, iconic.
It's like I think it was with Aaron Paul. He was supposed to be killed off originally in like season 2, and then they like they
were like, this is magic. This is chemistry.
Yeah.
It was the ultimate
bars, like
apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And
God, I want to rewatch it, but it's been like 8 times I've already rewatched it.
It's
unhealthy.
I was watching some of it last night, so I've got it like on the brain right now. But
it's just
back to bring it back to our topic. Did you answer? Did you say how? You said
we got
70s and 80s.
Yeah, like that's what I feel like everyone wants to go at, but
do you want to be surrounded by loved ones, or do you want to be alone?
That's why it's like I'm kind of like, people are gonna think I'm like crazy, but I think I'd rather die young. I feel like people don't care once you die.
But why do you want people to be upset?
I don't want them to be upset. Maybe.
Don't you want people to be happy? You lived a long life.
No, like I'm that person with that corny quote. Like when I die, yo, throw a party. Like I want people to get fucked up. Like I want people to go crazy. Like talk about like the good and bad things I did.
Yeah.
Like I want a party. And then you need to make it into a YouTube video. This is my consent right now.
We'll do Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's. So she's outliving me, she decided.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm younger than you are anyway. So. And men die before women anyway.
I know. High blood pressure. High cholesterol runs in my family.
But yeah, I have heart disease that runs in my family, and that's like the number 2 killer of women, or I think it might be the number 1.
Fact check.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fact check.
How and when do you want to die? Or do you agree with like the 70, 80 thing? You said not coherent anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to ever have to live in an assisted living facility because I volunteered and I spent a decent amount of time in those, and they're not fun, and people would like beg me to get them out. So I don't want to be there, and if I can't live on my own, then, because I don't want to be a burden on anybody in my family or anything. I want to be self-sufficient always. Yeah. So ideally, I'm coherent until I'm 100 years old, and I'm living in a beach house, and I know I'm gonna die. Bunny. I know I'm gonna die. And I go out, and it's nighttime. I go out.
He knows exactly what time it is.
I go out, and I sit on the beach under the moon, and I just go.
Like San Junipero or something?
Yeah, and somebody's going to find me in the morning, and they'll call whoever. And they'll dispose of
you know how traumatic that is for that person?
But no, it'd be like a peaceful. But so then,
your eyes will be open.
I want to be cremated, and I want my ashes spread over the Gulf of Mexico. And if anybody,
why the Gulf of Mexico?
Because that's where I always like vacationed on the beach as a kid. That's like where
Louisiana, right?
That's where I'm supposed to be. And
She's from Louisiana.
If anybody before they spread my ashes want to just take a lick and keep me forever,
hard pass.
Go ahead.
Hard pass.
But yeah, that's how I would like to go.
So we have kind of different.
Yeah, like complete polar opposite. I want to be an old crone.
Yeah.
Walking out to the. What if I just walked into the water?
And just disappeared like Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah,
like,
and then nobody would have to cremate me.
Sam, you can't die like that. It's not possible.
I'm just going to attach weights to my ankles.
Ooh. Drowning would be an awful way to go.
I've heard, I feel like it would terrify me because it's like claustrophobia almost, because it's just like you can't breathe.
I have asthma, so it freaks me out.
Yeah, but I've heard that it's euphoric. I don't know who I would have heard that from, who would have survived.
If it was euphoric, those people lived, then
but that's
the
just
euphoria
what I've
was
heard.
living.
Yeah, I guess it's just hearsay. Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Yeah, we'd have to bring someone back
Yeah.
in order for that.
But yeah, I mean, and I also just want to be at a point where I feel comfortable in the entire point of like why I was alive and that type of thing, because I feel like I'm still trying to get there now, where I'm trying to understand like the mathematics of the universe and like that type of thing. So I feel like it all has to do with time and like because our life is just our consciousness. You know, it's just a continuation.
Okay, Sam.
No, it is. It's just a continuation. And so like the years that pass, like obviously the measurement of time, like we came up with that, but the actual passing of time truly happens.
The listeners were not ready for that. Play that back. Rewind.
You make me lose my train of
Oh
thought
my
when
God.
you like go like this. But so it just has to do with the continuation of our consciousness and the looping of the time and how...
Time is a crazy concept, right?
We could do a whole podcast on time itself.
We might have to.
There's that episode of Rick and Morty where they do they go through the wormhole.
Yeah.
And that was the realization that they all came to in there. I am time. I literally am time.
Rick Sanchez
And it's
is my
true.
hero. I'm naming
That
my
was
son
Jerry.
Rick.
That was Jerry, but...
That was Jared, but I'm naming my son Rick.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, because your last
My
name...
last name is
You
Sanchez.
have to.
I know, I've been saying it.
You have to marry a Diane.
Oh, yeah. I've never met a Diane.
My mom's name is Diane.
Marrying her
You
mom,
can't
I guess.
marry my mom. She's spoken for.
There was it was Delilah. So we were talking because yesterday one of my coworkers started singing "Hey There Delilah."
Oh, yeah.
So, and then one of my other coworkers is from New York, so I said, "Yo, you have to make me fall in love with someone from New York named Delilah so I could start a long distance relationship."
Yeah, with someone named Delilah.
Hey there, Delilah.
Yeah.
What's it like in New York City?
I'm 1,000 miles. Would it be? Are we 1,000 miles away from New York City?
No, but tonight,
You look so pretty.
yes, you do.
How many miles away from New York are we?
I don't know, but
Because I know we're about 1,000 from Louisiana.
I'm trying to find a Delilah in New York.
Oh,
I've
God.
never met a Delilah.
Do you think anybody in New York is gonna listen to this?
No.
I actually have a friend in New York, so I'll try to send it to her.
Delilah?
Her name is Natalie. Okay, New York City. New York. 879 miles away.
We round up here.
Yep, that's 1,000.
All right. Let's end it with something lighter.
Okay, for sure. That was heavy.
Worst present you have ever received and why? From who?
I feel like that's just like a mean question.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you should never like look a gift horse in the mouth. But do you know what that phrase means?
Nope.
So if somebody gives you something, you should never be like, oh my god, because you know it comes from when people would look at horses' teeth for racehorsing or
Oh, really?
horse racing, and so they'd look at the teeth, and that's how you could tell like how good of a horse it was.
The best part of this right now is she could completely be bullshitting me
I'm
right now,
not.
and she's selling the shit out of it. Like, is this real?
I
we
wish
need
I was
fact
that
check.
good of an actress, but no. So you're not supposed to look a gift horse in the mouth because it's like that horse is given to you. You're not supposed to really like, and so that's the whole. But I mean.
When I
What
was
do you
a kid,
like to be given? What do you like to be given?
Well, nowadays,
I can think
don't
of the best gift I've been given.
What's the best
The
gift?
best gift I was given was, okay, weed is about to be legalized in Illinois in January of 2021. But,
2020.
yeah, 2020. But, last year for my birthday, Haley, my roommate, she gave me a Pickle Rick
Oh, really?
bowl. Yeah. And it was just, this was, I think, when, like, season 3 had just came out.
Okay.
This might have been this was 2 birthdays ago. Because, yeah, my last birthday, yeah, no, this is 2 birthdays ago. And, I was just, I've never felt like somebody knew what to get me more than when I opened this. And to this day, I have not smoked out of it because I don't want to get it dirty. But yeah, I mean, it was like a funny, cute, practical, and like.
Best gift you ever received?
Yeah, that was definitely my favorite gift I've ever received. So let's switch it to best. What's the best gift you've ever received?
Plane ticket to Vegas after I graduated.
Who gave that to you?
Ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
But it was awesome because
Yeah.
I love Vegas. It's the best place ever. It's like my Louisiana to Sam. And
You like
I was completely caught off guard because I was literally, it was my actually, well, we didn't say birthday gift, right? It was my graduation
It doesn't
gift.
have to, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. So that was nice. At least
Trips. I just read something and it was like, something like trips are the only thing that you can buy that like
gives you back. You get your money.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's,
Yeah, because
you
there's
actually
nothing
think
like
that's only fulfilling when you spend
there's
your
nothing
money
like
on.
traveling.
No, and that's it. Just comes from experience, like or just our experiences, and the more things that we can see.
Yeah, I
and
literally
like comprehend.
My birthday was at the start of this month. I bought a plane ticket to Boston. Went to Boston for 3 days, and it was awesome. Shout out The Point, the bar called The Point. You guys were awesome, and it was phenomenal. There was a guy I met there going out to like talking to anyone.
Where was the best New England clam chowder? Did you get any clam chowder?
I'm wearing the shirt.
Ye old Union Oyster House.
Yeah.
Boston. Let me see the back. That's a nice shirt.
Right?
That's some good clam chowder.
It was phenomenal. It was so good. I felt like they just like the clam was still alive. It was so good. But yeah, The Point. I was recommended to go to a bar called The Point, and I went there and it was awesome. Like locals, like, you've been down to Harvard. You've been down to Harvard.
Yeah, you did. You had like a photo shoot. You had a photo shoot at Harvard.
I'm wearing my MIT gear. But
oh my god.
And there was people like literally staring at me, like they were mad.
Oh, because that's probably that's like the equivalent of somebody going to LSU in Alabama,
yeah.
And like you're gonna get stared.
Yeah.
You're gonna get stared at.
But that bar was awesome, and I want to say his name was Vince too. I have something with Vince's, but there was a guy at The Point who he bought me a tequila shot, just because he's like
your guardian angel's name is Vince.
Probably. He literally. Oh, you know what's weird too? I think that was my saint for confirmation.
Was it really?
It might be, yeah. But he like literally somehow he knew I wasn't from there. I don't know.
I mean, you probably came off like a tourist.
Maybe. I was just sitting at the bar, and he's like, "Yo, let me get you a shot. Where are you from? You've been down to Harvard."
He knew. That was the thing.
From
he
The
knew.
Point. That dude. Shout out that dude. I'll be back someday.
Yeah, that is cool.
I also at that bar too. I met like the CEO of some company, and he like added me on LinkedIn. I gotta hit you up. His name was like Peter or something. I'm really sleeping on that opportunity, aren't I?
Yeah. But I have squandered many an opportunity like that.
I made sure to get his LinkedIn though, because you never know.
Yeah, I don't even have a LinkedIn.
I tried to get her to make one like 3 years ago.
I'm part of the problem. I refuse to join the workforce like that. I am employed, but I don't have a LinkedIn.
All right.
Yeah, should we bring this to a close?
Yeah, I think the next topic we'll have to talk about time, but...
Yeah, no, we need to just end this and make a list, because I have a couple.